Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome to the Thoughts of an Abstract Mind podcast, where we discuss various red and blue pill content, see how the people feel about it. So today I just wanted to discuss this Iran-USA war. I mean, there's so many things happening in this world. The last thing we needed was another drawn-out war. Let me explain. I get it. We had the whole, situation in Iran where, people were being killed because they were protesting against the government and the Ayatollah, etc., and they were asking the Americans for aid and etc. But this is the problem. Trump has ended up entering into a war that, in my personal opinion, was unwarranted. You see? Like, there's so many problems in the world. Now, simply because of what seems like someone else's ego, we've entered into a war that doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. And it's affecting everyone. Look at the price of fuel all of a sudden, due to the Strait of Hormuz. You know what I mean? Which I find very annoying, because nobody really asked for this war. You know what I mean? Iran was posing an imminent threat to America like that. You know what I mean? And furthermore, where was Congress's input into going to war? The guy just upped and went to war. And then now he's pissed at our government. We're in the UK, he's pissed at our government because we won't just willy-nilly follow him into an unwarranted war. You know what I mean? Granted, it's probably being influenced by the Israelis. This is what they've always wanted, a destabilized Iran, because they think Iran's their biggest threat in the whole region, which is fine. It's about their survival. I get that, but I just find it strange how, when there's oil involved, we're so quick to go to war. When there's other countries with severe issues that could do with the American help, that never comes. Perhaps because they haven't got oil. It's just strange. This whole thing. I feel like as time goes on, you realize a lot of these wars are cyclical. This is the same president who came, by the way, saying he was coming to end all wars. Let's not forget that. He claimed he was going to end all wars and he wouldn't start a war ever again. But here we are in 2026, and now they're putting actual boots on the ground, it seems, because they've dispatched, I think, 3,000 Marines into the region already. You know what I mean? Granted, Russia's got its arms tied with Ukraine, so that's a big sigh of relief. They can't really get invested in it. But who's to say they won't in the future? You know what I mean? And, it's not all one-sided. Could the Iranian regime have done things better? Of course they could. But, I mean, that's what they've always known. That's what they've always known. And you see, history is very ironic, because the same Americans who ended up assassinating the Ayatollah actually supported him to come in when they wanted to remove the Shah. So it's all a bit, crazy, this whole situation. We do hope they find some kind of solution for it, because at this point, it's just dragging on unnecessarily. You see? Now we go pay higher fees and fuel. You go worry about energy costs, etc. It's high time we all realize that this world we live in, this globe we live in, we're all interlinked, we're all interconnected. What affects one affects the whole. Human civilization, I think, at this point, should forgo unnecessarily wars. After the Second World War, even in my personal opinion, that should have been the end of all wars. But clearly it wasn't. And here we are today. But let me know your thoughts in the comments.